yeah, Veronica Mars, I'm watching you. Private eye.
Hello and welcome to your podcast, Veronica Mars. I'm Joe.
And I'm Travis.
And today, we are finally there. Episode 21 of Season 1, A Trip to the Dentist.
I don't even know where to start with this. I've said this before. This is my very, very favorite episode. And I just have a lot of feelings about it. And I think just read an episode description so we can get in on this thing.
I agree. Watch, this is our 30-minute episode. It's either going to be really short or really long. I don't know yet. But iTunes, it is telling us, determined to expose the person who drugged and assaulted her at a party the year before, Veronica questions her friends and many rivals about the events that occurred that night at Shelley Pomeroy's house. Meanwhile, when one of Veronica and Wallace's stunts affects Alicia's job at Kane Software, she confronts Keith about his daughter's behavior. Later, in an attempt to get closer to his son, Aaron hosts a birthday party for Logan that surprises everyone. Side note, but not side note, because it has to do with the episode, they give actor credit to Shelley Pomeroy in this episode description.
Why?
Melissa Hoover
is
the
I know
official
that.
Shelley Pomeroy of this,
But
even though there are two.
She's also nobody. Like, no offense,
But also,
Melissa Hoover.
But also, Shelley Pomeroy has been this, like, force in this season. So it's kind of... I get it, but...
That's fine.
I don't know.
I'm just saying...
Oh, but also Erica Gimple gets one for Alicia,
for
and
Alicia.
Harry Hamlin for Aaron.
Well, Harry Hamlin, because he's...
A blockbuster star. Well, was.
Anyway, I don't really want to talk about Harry Hamlin.
Let's talk about the opening scene then, because I love this opening scene. I love it so much, where, like, Duncan just puts down his newspaper, and there's Keith, all smiles, like, hey, found you, buddy.
I enjoy the effort, because it looked like they were no longer in the States, so I don't know if that was
Right?
a sound set, or like a sound stage, or like a backlot or something in LA, but it looked like it was no longer in fucking LA. So that always got me. I'm like, ooh, they spent a lot of money, which I'm sure they didn't.
They
But
just
also,
found a really good location.
Side note, they must have spent a lot of money on this episode, because there is this is like the most guest stars they've ever had in an episode, and I think ever will have in an episode.
I guess when Diane Ruggiero wrote this, she didn't know if she can get everyone, so she was like trying to craft like different ways, but they were like, no, we'll get them. Like,
let's start with this. That's a good way to start, because like episodes ago, Joe went on a rant about Diane, and now I would like to go on a rant about Diane, about how fucking brilliant this episode is, just from a standpoint of a high school drama. You rarely get callbacks or like closure to characters, like especially one-shot characters.
Oh yeah.
And this episode brings back, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We get 7 of the characters who have been in episodes before, most of them one-shots, and they come back. It feels very organic, and none of it feels forced. It's just beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. Like,
It's
not... let me finish, sir.
Sorry.
They don't all get a lot of screen time. Like, Carrie Bishop gets, like, nothing, but each piece fits so perfectly into this puzzle, and just having Veronica go from, like, classmate to classmate to classmate is brilliant. And then they all have, like, variations on the same story, because they all obviously see it differently.
Mm-hmm.
It's just beautiful. And Veronica, how she starts the episode with, there was, like, so many people at this party, and like 89% of them would walk over my unconscious body for a free piece of gum, is just like beautiful, and that pretty much sums up Veronica's relationship with the 09ers so well. It's beautiful.
And it's true. And it proves
It's
it
so
in this
true.
episode. Like, no one helped her in this episode. Like, Meg came close, but she saw that she was in a like safer spot, so she's like, oh, okay. But like, we'll get there. But like, Duncan was the only one to come to her aid in this episode, and then he got drugged for it.
Which we will discuss later.
Yes, we will.
Because
yes, we will. We will. So back to this opening. Scruffy Duncan is a nice Duncan.
Duncan was looking very good in this episode in general. Like,
he was.
He's pretty buff, and like we never get much naked Duncan, but that was a steamy sex scene, steamy flashback. Cuba did him good. Cuba did Duncan good.
Oh God. I do like that Duncan brings to Keith, like, I didn't do this, or do you think I did this, whatever, that part, and he's like, I just know Abel didn't do it, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. And I thought that was a really good way for Keith to handle it without being like, oh no, it wasn't you poor boy, you poor boy.
I like that Keith talks to him like an adult.
Yeah, he doesn't like try to coddle him,
and it's cute, and he's like, you did a really good job with that passport thing, like, good on you, Duncan. And then we get his return to the States, and Keith's like comment to Clarence.
Clarence was looking fine in this episode.
He's always looking
holy
fine.
Shit. But like, I don't. Maybe it was the light in it, but
because we finally get to see him not in the shadows.
He looked mighty fine in this episode.
And then he makes that comment like something about Clarence in jail.
Yeah.
And Celeste fucking Kane, love her so much. She's
okay. When she gets like Duncan in the car, and like she just talks to him not like a son, but like these two people that were like pulling a heist, and then like they finally got him secure into the location. She's like, you wouldn't believe what we've been through. Like I liked it, but it felt I liked it because it was different. It didn't feel like their normal mother-son super coddle breastfed till you're like 14.
I think that's the one thing that sounded off in this episode, because it sounds more like them trying to set up something for the finale, which is fine. It just kind of came off as out of character.
It just felt different, but I liked it.
Yeah. I know I did not like it. It was, because, I don't know, it was just off.
But we skipped the, at the beginning with, like, Logan trying to go after Veronica, and then, like, Weevil cuts him off.
Because that's a great line. Weevil's best line of the entire series is when he's like, I'm not going to let you put a hand on her like you did Lily, which, are we supposed to believe, like, Logan... What did Lily tell Weevil? Because I don't see Logan as being, like,
I think
violent.
That Weevil is just, like, putting two and two together and realizing Logan is a suspect.
True.
Like, I think it's more that.
His best line is,
what makes it worse? Thinking she had feelings for me, or that she was using me for sex?
Yes!
Weevil knows how to hit low. And good for him.
Like, cause is this the only Weevil we get in this episode?
No, he pops back up at the end of the episode, right?
Oh yeah, at the very end. Yeah. I just like that, like, Diane still worked in a Logan Weevil scene into this episode, and it was perfect. Like, it was needed. And
that teacher comes in to break them up, and they just kind of like, I like how Logan like fixes Weevil's collar.
Yes. Oh God, homoerotic at its finest. Okay. And then.
Okay, go on.
I was just gonna say Logan visits Veronica at her place, trying to figure out what happened.
Veronica could have said something, but I get why she didn't. But Logan's response to Veronica being raped was such like it was so true to life and such a generic guy response, like, oh, what can I do to help you? Or like, oh, I didn't know, like,
right?
Like, Logan, how about you just no, just go away. Like, she doesn't need to be cuddled right now. Like, it's good.
Yeah. I liked that one of my favorite moments in the episode is after she tells him that, and then she's just like,
I'm gonna find out who did this to me, and I'm gonna make them pay, even if it was you.
like, there's just so much force behind that line.
There is so much force, but there's zero follow-through, because the person who did this to her, there is no repercussions.
We'll get that.
So, a lot of empty words coming out of Veronica Mars today. But whatever. But we get a fantastic, cut from... Another fantastic cut to the opening credits from that scene.
Where she, closes the door on him and then...
She's like, I need to go now. I need to go... I think she says I need
throw
to go
up.
vomit. Yeah. Which... She has to, that's her go-to comment, 3 times in this episode. It's like, get a new...
Oh my God.
There, Veronica.
So her first person she interrogates... I guess we'll go kind of person to person. That'll be the easiest way to break through this episode.
Yeah.
So...
Because it's very much as all these suspects. It's very similar to in Eccles' Family Christmas.
It's like that, but amped the fuck
Which is
up.
why I think I love this episode. So the first person she goes to is Meg, her 109er friend.
Her on-again, off-again BFF.
On-again, off-again BFF, yeah. And Meg's... I will say... I don't want to apologize because I was waiting for Joe to bring it up, but I'll just say it now.
I thought this was going to be it. And I was there's not...
Maybe I was a little harsh. Veronica and Meg are clearly friends in this episode. That's fine. I reacted. Anyway.
But I like what they did here with Meg.
Yeah.
I said it before, but just the fact that she sees these people doing body shots off Veronica and knows that's not Veronica, and she wants to go help him, but Cole's a dick, per usual.
But I love that they got Cole back,
right?
Because what a random
they made it this is
they didn't need him
she
in
was
this episode
dating
at all.
This time.
She could have just said she was meeting Cole. It's
right?
fantastic.
He could have been off the side or something. Yeah,
he has one line, and he's such a throwaway character, but it was so nice just to see him back. Just because it feels... A lot of shows, when they do flashbacks, it doesn't feel like flashback. It just feels like the same time. But for some reason, this feels like a year ago, because you have Cole and Meg together, so it feels like it's a year ago.
Yeah.
And Cole's just being Cole. He's like, I don't want my night to end with Veronica Mars throwing up in the back of my car, which I don't disagree with him. But also, at this point, I don't know. I guess everyone hates Veronica, but come on, Cole.
Right?
Yes, I don't understand how Meg was dating Cole, because Cole just seems like an asshole, and Meg's like a fucking angel among men.
I think is he a jock of sorts, or is he just rich?
I don't think they didn't really go into his story long enough. I mean, he's attractive, and look at the photos of him now.
Okay, but that's
he has his hair the salt and pepper thing going on.
Ooh.
Daniel Best is fine, and it's good for him. Good for him. So yeah, we get Meg, who's all, I'm a good person. Oh, but I didn't actually really do anything.
Right, but I mean, she saw that Duncan was with her, or at least somebody. I'm hoping she saw that it was Duncan.
She didn't say it was Duncan.
Well, I'm hoping. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, because I don't know if another guy came up and picked her up after a bunch of guys were doing body shots off her. My first inclination would be, where are they taking her?
Yeah.
Not like this guy is saving her. So I'm hoping she knew it was Duncan, and Duncan's a good guy, so.
But even if she didn't, I'm still okay with that, because it's very much... What is she, okay, someone has her, so she must be good. It's all these, it's what I really love about all these 09ers who are, helping her, or kind of, putting the blame on someone else, because they all know they were not in the right.
Right. Well, and that I love, just the little differences between each of the scenes, and just how each guy remembers. Oh God, it's so well written. Oh, it's so good, so well written.
Mm-hmm.
So then...
But Meg also has... It's very similar to Meg's other advice she gave her in Like a Virgin, when she's saying, just forget about it, get over it. Like, and Veronica's like, no, I'm gonna get even. And Meg just like,
Meg, there's
only
some
so
things
much
you
I can do
can't
for
just like
but also
sweep under the rug.
Meg, for all Meg knows, is Veronica just got wasted at a party.
Right.
So
she does have that line. She's like, oh, it's better not to remember your first drunken experience.
And
Veronica
understand-
doesn't tell her, which
I understand she's not
makes
telling
sense.
her, but also, like, people would be more... No, I'm not going to say people are going to be more serious, because they won't be, because we
Right.
talk that and when we come up to Madison. But I think Meg would have been more understanding and been a lot more helpful if she had learned Veronica had been drugged.
Meg has proven herself to not be like everyone else, to where, like, she would believe Veronica. She wouldn't be like, oh, you're making it up.
Meg would have been like, oh, hell no. That's when Meg's true colors would have came out, and she would, I'm going down to all these 09ers. We're going to fucking get the truth out of these little shits.
She pulls, like, her own taser out of her purse.
Yeah,
She's like, no, I
like,
learned.
It's a bedazzled pink one, but it's still a taser.
It still works. Fuck. It'll still drop your ass.
It'll just do it in style.
So I guess we could talk about Luke now.
Yes.
And his envisioning of Veronica's night.
Here's again, I think I'll say this every time, but Luke is also such a throwaway character, because he was in episode 5 or 6. What's the Troy episode?
The steroids.
Yeah.
That wasn't Wrath of Khan. Wow. We are great big Veronica Mars fans, clearly.
Just a second.
Return of the
It was
King.
Wrath of the Khan. No.
Okay.
You think you know somebody. You think you know somebody.
There we go. That's right. Because it's a whole Tijuana thing. God damn.
But I like that this is not the
fans.
first time Luke's been getting drugs from Mexico.
Oh my god, right?
He seems like he's doing really well, though. And he's very... He almost... I don't want to say the line, because it's my favorite line, but he seems like he's having fun with Veronica, and he's like, yeah, you really did help me out. So what can I do for you, Veronica?
I don't really have much for him, for his part.
No, he doesn't add much, but he just kind of like leads up to Madison, who we can discuss next.
Yeah.
Who, it's been a few episodes since our queen has appeared, but here she is with a brand new hairdo. She's like got a cute brunette little look, so good for her.
Right?
But the second thing is that she's then stuck with an awful wig in all the flashbacks. I just assume they repurposed the pilot wig for her.
Oh, she doesn't deserve that. Oh my god. I thought we settled this after the pilot, and they burned the wig, and we never saw it again, except in previously ons. Madison, like, she doesn't deserve that. No one on the show really deserves that wig.
Leanne deserves that wig.
Okay.
If we did a flashback, Leanne would wear that fucking wig.
Yeah. I could see that. That's fair. That is very
But
fair.
Madison, she has like the best lines in these episodes.
Okay, so I'm gonna want to talk about my favorite quote here. It's like it's just not gonna work in its own segment. Like, well, it will, but I don't want to not talk about it. So when Veronica first approaches her,
You can keep asking, but you're not the fairest, trust me.
I can tell you who the pastiest is.
What's the deal? Can't buy bronzer with food stamps? You wrote slut on my car last year at Shelley's party. Why? Because whore had too many letters.
but because whore had too many letters is one of my favorite lines in this entire show. Like,
Joe says it to me all the time. Like, all the time. Whenever I tell him anything, he's like, you slut. I would have wrote whore, but it had too many letters. And like,
it's the greatest.
it is.
And the way that Amanda Nora delivers it, it's so good. It's fucking hilarious.
She's just so angry at Veronica, and we kind of learn Yeah, Veronica never did anything to Madison, but Madison just assumes that she made out with Dick, which Dick's a piece of shit, so why does it really matter?
Right?
But I guess Madison's he's mine, so why, how dare you?
Yeah, which I get that. And there's this moment after Veronica tells Madison that she was drugged, and like it's before she like says she doesn't believe her or whatever. But, like,
I wrote that too. There's a moment where she almost like there's this
she believes, like,
yeah,
and
like she's shocked that Veronica says that, and she's almost like, but something just comes over her where she's like, no, like I don't know if it's
in my headcanon, it's that like Dick has done this to Madison before.
Oh,
so like in my headcanon, like if she were to believe Veronica, she would kind of have to believe this.
Yeah,
that it happened. Like, because I'm sorry, this more than likely isn't the first time that Dick has tried to drug Madison.
No.
Like, especially with how he comes off in this episode. And we'll get more into detail on it, but that's kind of my headspace, just because that like glimpse of like wanting to believe her and then not, but it would also be reckoning with like everything she's thought about her in the past. And honestly, Madison probably isn't the type to want to like reconcile and be like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm right. Like, this is my view. Like, you made out with my boyfriend. So
another great Madison line is when Dick hands her the soda and she's like,
yes!
Regular soda? Why didn't you just fill the cup with lard?
I love
she has so much disdain for regular soda. I love it.
And then from later on in the episode when I guess we'll just clump all the Madison stuff together. When Veronica learns what a trip to the dentist is, and Veronica's like, you spat in my drink, and Madison has the best comeback.
Like I was the only person spit you had in your mouth that night?
Fair. No. I also actually piggybacking off of that, she when she's like, I made out with Casey or whatever, Casey and Dick or something like that.
Yeah.
And Madison's like,
Please, you made out with the garage door.
Madison is just so angry at Veronica, and I think it's unwarranted, but also I understand girls in high school and high school in general. It is what it is. Madison has this persona she has to upkeep.
I also want to say, we don't think that Madison's vitriol towards Veronica is right. It's one, entertainment, so funny, and two, I just think that Madison's a little misunderstood, and this episode gives us a little more into that. So Casey,
Casey's looking good too.
Oh yeah.
Veronica again knows how to go deep.
Oh, that grandma comment?
I just wondering how you're doing since your grandma died.
That was so good.
Oh my God. Like, oh, this dumb bitch. Yeah, I'm fine, Veronica. Thank you. I'm no longer in a cult. What else do you want from me?
Oh my God, it's perfect. I like that Veronica doesn't hold back in this episode.
She can't.
She's trying to get information. It's Veronica at her finest. Just fuck all of you. I'm gonna figure out who did this, and if I have to hurt your little feelings, oh fucking well. But my feelings have been hurt.
It really plays up to Veronica's, and I don't want to say sneakiness, but she has all this dirt on people. She's helped every single person she goes up to, so she knows a lot of deep dark things. So.
And it just goes to show, she has helped all these people despite how,
they all hate her.
Horrible they are to her.
Now she's learning they all kind of, left her to basically get raped. Even
honestly,
though,
I wish season 1 ended with Veronica setting fire to the school, like, and then going off to Pan High.
I know the Lily Kane murder is like the main mystery of the season, but I'm like, this would have been also a fantastic season finale,
right?
And I kind of wish they would have, because I know they weren't sure if they're gonna get a season 2, so they wanted to wrap this up. But I kind of would have liked if this would have like branched out into season 2.
Wait, the rape or the Lily
rape?
Kane?
The rape.
Oh, okay, I could see that. I was like, no, Lily Kane cannot go on to another season. Like,
no. This would have been nice to branch out into season 2, but also then maybe they wouldn't have been able to get all these actors back. But
yeah,
because we never get this again where we get all the, because season 2 introduces more like one-shot high school kids, and we don't really ever see them again.
The closest thing we get is like Alterna Prom.
Yeah, and it's usually all the people that show up are just kind of like the regulars that we've had, or like Madison and Mac and Corny, I think, shows up.
He does.
I would have liked, like, when I was watching this episode, I'm like, Mac would have been nice in this episode, but I'm also like, no, she wouldn't have been at Shelley Palmer's party, so there would have been no point for Mac. Or Corny, because I'm thinking of like reoccurring characters. I'm like, or
it
like
has to be 09ers.
Like, or the PG-13 gang. I'm like, well, none of them would have showed up. I'm like, where the fuck? They couldn't get Paris Hilton for another episode? I kind of wonder if Diane wrote Caitlin Ford in here.
I'm pretty sure she knew that was a one-off. Like, and God bless her for that, not trying to write Caitlin. That was something I would have been okay with a recasting. That would have been perfect. Again, get Nicole Richie in there. Have her. That would have been like, that would have been so smart. I'm sorry, it would have been.
Okay. Oh, well, back to Casey. I like that Casey, his version, because him and Madison tell the same story, but their versions are very different. Like, Dick is pretty much making out with Veronica, but in Madison's version, it's Veronica's horning it up on Dick and Casey.
And I love that Casey's like, oh no, I would never do this to you. I am a righteous man.
Yeah. But he's like I like my women to be able to stand on 2 feet, I think is what he says.
Oh God. Okay, Casey. Okay. Meanwhile, you really helped her out throughout the rest of the party. Such a gentleman. Such a good guy.
I know. But it's funny because it's not funny, but it's interesting how, because clearly Dick told Madison what happened. So he told Madison, like, oh, Veronica came onto me, blah, blah, blah. Because Madison gives great bitch stare when she's just standing there, like, watching Veronica and Dick make out. And we get to see it twice, which is even better.
Like, cue the Kill Bill music, like, in the background to that. Like, just, it's so good.
Yes.
And I love that she's, oh God. I touch myself playing while like Veronica's doing all this. It's just, that is funny. Like I don't know what high schoolers are listening to that, but sure.
I just feel like I was just gonna say they're listening to a Spotify playlist, but that's probably like an MP3
in 2005.
Playlist. I know.
No? Someone had like a classic iPod and threw it on shuffle, and that was it.
Well, the 09ers probably own all the music. They don't care. There's just a credit card connected to that.
They have like one of those 200 CD boom boxes or whatever.
Yeah.
You could just like, those were crazy. Like, I didn't have that high of one, but I think, oh God, my uncle had like 25 or something like that.
That's too many.
And then you could just shuffle and it would pick a random CD. It was so weird.
But also I feel like there'd be such a weird like space between songs. Like, I feel like it wasn't...
Yeah,
anyway.
No, because you could hear it, like, grabbing the next CD. Yeah.
A lot of downtime when it comes to that.
So are we going to go into the Dick stuff?
No, we get to Sean next. Sean is before Dick.
Oh, that's his name. So I can never remember this guy's name. He's Weasel Guy, but I remember that Weasel Guy was the other one, Luke. And this was Butler's son guy. Yeah. With the shitty pants.
We get a great line from Veronica, because she kind of comes in and pushes that guy out of the way and just sits down. And she's like, wow, when you're about to soil yourself, you get a little twitch in your eye. And Sean just wants nothing to do with Veronica. He's still probably pissed. And I wish we would have seen more of like the fallout. Like, is he still friends with like everyone, or like
Right?
what's his standing now? Because he's technically, I guess, if he lives in the '09, he's not an '09er because Veronica burnt that bridge for him real quick. Plus, he stole from everyone, and the fact that like Weevil didn't I don't
kill
know.
him.
Yeah,
I know. Pissed me off too.
but here he is.
So the girl that they were trying to make out with was Shelley Pomeroy.
Yeah.
Wow, Shelley. Wow. Wow. Why didn't Veronica go to Shelley after this?
This is a very good question. I don't understand. So they clearly casted an actress for Shelley. She has no lines, but she's there. No, I guess she has one line. I think she says like yes or something.
So, Shelley Pomeroy is at the very least bi, right? I'm guessing, because she was like there. She
was-
looked pretty like not drunk.
She could have been
Maybe
very
that was the
drunk, though.
acting. I don't know, but I think we have another ally on our hands. Shelley Pomeroy is a queer icon.
But I want to say it's weird that Shelley Pomeroy makes out with Veronica and then like not too long after starts dating Duncan.
Ooh, she wants to get back with Veronica. That's how she's doing it.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my god, she has this like
Okay.
unrequited love for
Shelley
Veronica.
Pomeroy side story that never happened. Shelley makes out with Veronica as a joke, but there's a spark that she just cannot resist. She's just, this is the one. But she knows Veronica would never fall for it. And she can't come out as a lesbian because it's 2005. It's 2003 at this point. And like,
Oh yeah.
she's an
Fair.
09er. It will never happen. Her parents will disown her. Her dad's a very conservative Republican. What do you guys? You're Republicans,
Republicans,
right?
yep.
Yeah. Republican, I don't know, diplomat of some sort. he would disown her. So she has to date Duncan. That way she can still get to Veronica without getting to Veronica. Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
I think that God, these layers within the show.
I
It's
know.
crazy.
Diane really knows how to like the subtext that
The
Diane can put into a show.
Fucking sane.
Is amazing. And like once they graduate high school, Shelley goes to tell Veronica, but she just doesn't have the courage. She just can't do it. So she
So
lives
here I
her,
was thinking Diane only
she gets
did,
married, has kids, and is very unhappy. And yet during season 4, Veronica's on the news and Shelley's watching it. She's collecting the papers. She's like, it could have been me. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Diane, for
See,
creating the most iconic lesbian character on TV with Shelley Pomeroy.
And here I thought Diane only wrote like gay guy erotic subtext, but no, she can do lesbian just fine, and I am so happy about this. So let's get into Dick.
Into Dick Cass. Oh no, I guess Sean tells her that Dick brought her into the guest room, and I love how Ryan Hansen just like flops her onto the bed. And like, good on Kristen. Like, I bet you that took a few times to get, because like that was flunked.
Right?
It's
She
so
like at least
funny.
the first time she tried to catch herself.
Or
Like
she just cracked up laughing or something. Because they're like really close in real life, so I can
Yeah.
just see him like. Anyway, he like flops her on the bed, and the beaver is in there, and so is Sean, and Dick's trying real hard to get Beaver to like have sex with Veronica, which obviously he doesn't at all, and yeah. And just the way, so the way Dick talks about Veronica, Dick's an awful person. I really like Dick, but I also still don't understand how Veronica can be friends with Dick, or how Logan can be friends with Dick after all this. Because you think Veronica would have told him, hey, Dick pretty much tried to like get me fucked by his brother. Maybe don't be friends with him anymore.
like literally the only person to redo any scene in their memory where Dick wasn't the absolute worst was Madison when Veronica was making out with Dick.
Well, and also Dick's
oh yeah, his own, right? Because he's a fucking
I love when Dick's like, what are you talking about? I found you there. He's just like walking in the background.
Right? Like everyone else is like, no, like Dick brought her into there. And he's like, what are you talking about? I just walked in and you were there. Like, it's not my fault. Like, it's just, he's so fucking gross.
Mm-hmm.
And like the whole time when, like back just a little bit, when they were like feeding her shots, like that moment is just like skin crawling. Like they're dunking shots down her throat. Like, that scene's really hard to watch. More, I don't know why. Like that one is.
It's hard to watch, and it's also why one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of Veronica and Logan together, because he was there too.
Mm-hmm.
He was feeding her shots, and he never outright apologizes for that.
No,
because
yeah, kind of.
No, but like
at the end of the episode,
sorta. But he was an awful person to her, and we've seen it in the past. In like earlier in the season, he's a jerk to her, but he's outright like, this is like he's physically harming her. Like he is doing actual damage to her. And I don't think it's ever really fully addressed or whatever. It's kind of less like, oh, you apologized, so it's okay. It's like, well, you were letting me, you put me in this situation. And it's, I don't know. I think it's really unforgivable what Logan did, but that's just my opinion on the case.
I think it's more unforgivable what Dick did.
I think they're both awful, and I think realistically, Veronica should have cut off friendship with both of them, but she doesn't, and she just treats Dick like he's just a kid, he doesn't know any better. But it's like Dick was planning to drug Madison and rape Madison.
Right, this wasn't like a one-off type thing. Like this behavior isn't like, oh, I'm gonna randomly be this way for this night and no other night. Like at the end of the day, like no matter whether or not Veronica was raped, like Dick was going to drug and rape Madison.
Yeah.
Like if he wouldn't have gotten I guess we'll talk about it now. If he wouldn't have gotten her that regular soda, it would have been Madison. And then
well, that's also just throwing back to Luke. He was also to blame because he's just like, oh, I gave it to Dick, but I assume they're both gonna do it. I'm like,
maybe then give Madison a heads up.
Yeah, like that's still, it's not like cool. But you guys all know Dick. It's not like Dick's this great person. He has like this shady background.
It's not Duncan.
It's like you know exactly that Luke, or you know exactly that Dick is going to drug Madison without her knowing, because all he's been saying all night is how annoying she is and how she's like a pair of fake boobs. She's fun to look at, but nothing else. Like everyone's to fault here.
The one of the things it hurts me with Veronica in this episode, and like the only time I find her unlikable in this episode, it's not even unlikable, but she doesn't tell Madison that Dick tried to drug her.
Yeah.
She doesn't warn her. She's not like, hey, I was drugged and it was because your boyfriend put this into your drink and then you gave it to me. Like, I that's unforgivable.
That's 100% unforgivable.
That's something I can't reconcile for Veronica, and I think it's just...
And because Veronica goes and holds
horrible.
this grudge against Madison for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Because she, every time, it's like, in her mind, Madison's the reason why she was drugged. But it's like, Madison had no idea her drink had anything in it. Madison was just being a shitty person.
Right.
But
on a totally different reason. Like, it was like...
And it's not like, I bet you if Veronica's like, sat down with Madison and is like, this is what happened, like, blah, blah, blah. Sure, Madison might not believe it, but also, like, at least she would know then.
Yeah.
And you can't blame someone... Because, like, if you want to... like, I don't know, it's so stupid, and I hate it so much that this is never dealt with in like a realistic way. Because it just seems like, oh, these two girls are going to hate each other, and Veronica's just going to blame her for being raped and drugged. And Madison had, yeah, she played a part, but she had no idea what was happening.
Right.
She has no blame really to put into this. Dick will go out for the rest of the series as the fun, lovable friend that Veronica will never get. Veronica doesn't have any hard feelings against him, even though like, he's the reason.
Veronica finds out that Madison didn't know that Veronica was drugged that night. Like, at that time of that party. So, literally, all Madison knew was that Veronica got drunk and started making out with Dick and, like, everyone else at this party. So, yeah, she was gonna spit in her drink and give it to her because, as far as she knows, like, Veronica's just being a wasted mess, and, oh, like, this is just my petty little whatever. It's not gonna do anything to you, but at least I'll know. Like, yeah. And, like, there's no, like, room for Madison to make that. I don't know. Like, we don't afford Madison the same leeway as we do, like, Dick. And I know we've said it before on how female characters get treated in this show when it comes to Veronica versus male characters, and I think this is the highlight of it in the series, of how they go forward with Dick from here, how they go forward with Madison from here, how they go forward with Logan from here. It just kind of solidifies that. Like, Dick became a main character and a comic relief, and Madison's the hell bitch. Yet Dick tried to drug Madison, and we celebrate him. It's cool. He has gold shorts in season 4. It's funny.
And I hate myself for liking Dick so much.
I do too.
But I do, and it all has to do with Ryan. It all has to do with Ryan Hansen at the end of the day, because his character, there's nothing about his character I like.
It's the writer's fault for trying to make these, like, lovable actors these horrible people. Like,
I know.
I don't know. It's just, that's, as much as I love this episode and how amazing I think it is, where the series goes from this episode, however, is it does some things I don't like for the series.
Agreed.
I mean, I still stuck around for, like, everything, and I loved it, Kickstarter and all that, but that doesn't mean you can't find these.
Because I never really put these pieces together when I first watched it. It wasn't until years later, and then rewatching it now, it's like, it's so painful to watch, because Madison is just as much as a victim as Veronica is. But we will never get that from her.
No.
This is why she is and will always be the Joker of the story.
Yes.
She's the ultimate victim.
This is what we need.
And she'll never have.
Like, why didn't they just release this episode into theaters instead of, like, that Joaquin Phoenix movie? Like, this is a better Joker origin story.
I know.
Than whatever they're gonna come up with.
I guess so. Back to Dick. There was some really good lines, like, because Veronica has his surfboard under her car.
Yeah, there is.
And he's like, he says something, and she's like, "Insulting me seems like a good idea. How?" And she just, like, revs up her engine.
Oh, and I love that. What does he call? He says something about her being a whore or something.
What he says, and I wrote it down, and it's the best thing. He says, "Don't go blaming me because you got all wasted and slutty."
Yes!
And she just revs it, and, like, his surfboard just goes right into shreds. Like, it's so... He is such an idiot. And also, like... But also, Veronica, that's, like, vandalism, so be careful. Like, I know you're an adult, but...
No, he deserved. I love that they, like, set it up to you, like, at the beginning, and he's like, "This is my baby."
Yeah.
"This is my baby." And Logan's like, "Please don't ever talk about you breeding again."
And then we get Veronica and Beaver.
The Beeves.
And I never realized... when I think of, like, Kyle Gallner, I always think he's really short, but he looks really tall next to Kristen Bell.
Well, yeah. 5-year-olds look tall next to Kristen Bell.
But it's funny how, like, this look on his face, because I'm guessing all these 09ers are talking now, like, oh, fuck, Veronica Mars is on a rampage about Shelly Palmer's party. And, like, everyone's just waiting, and Beaver's like, oh, she's gonna come up to me, isn't she? And so I don't want to talk too much about the Beaver stuff, because, like, it's
creepy and gross, and, like, Dick goes to, like, finger her. It's like, oh, you want me to get her started for you?
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, the second biggest skin-crawling moment of the night. Like, just, like, Dick looking at her, and, like, he licks his lips, and he has, like, his hand, like, going up her thigh. Like, it's just so
And also, because I'm just
fucking
about
gross.
to say, thank God Beaver stepped in, but I'm also like, no.
Nope. Right? Because I was like, nope.
So, yeah, so Beaver...
So at the end,
we all know Beaver sleeps with Veronica. Like, we can just say it. This is not a spoiler-free review.
we'll say Beaver rapes Veronica.
Beaver rapes Veronica. And I don't get... The one part of his story I don't get. So he runs out and throws up on Carrie Bishop's shoe. Or throws up beside Carrie Bishop. And we know that's a fact. Because Carrie pretty much... That has to be a fact. So I don't understand where that actually falls in the timeline. Like, does he sleep with her and then comes out and throws up because he was so disgusted with sleeping with Veronica?
I think, like, well, we know, I don't, like, because, but you also don't, like, this goes into, like, did they know that they were going to set this up to go into season 2? Because they, like, stay on his face for, like, 1 second too long.
They totally do. There's this
and they have, like,
shot.
a shadow across his face.
Yeah.
Which that could just, again, be trying for this episode and maybe even the next to just have something ominous with Beaver. Because the next episode's called Leave It to Beaver, so, you know,
yeah, and
throwing people off.
They set him up last episode, and they try really hard to, like, make him like he's been here since episode 1, which is, it's funny... Because he has not been, but they're acting like he's always been around, like he's always around Dick. And I'm like, well, he hasn't been. So that, I mean, we'll discuss this much more in season 2. But I do like when...
going back to your question, I think he threw up after having sex with her. Because it was like, what did I do? I'm a monster. But you really are a monster, so, like, you're gross, kid. Like,
I enjoy when he's like, I left you there, I swear. And she punches him. Is like, thanks. Yes. Thanks for leaving me. You're such a stand-up guy.
I wish she would have ended that with ended every conversation like that. Just like a good... But I wish she would have just went for the throat. Just like, thanks. And just a little jab to their jugular. Just to remember her by.
And then we get... Carrie Bishop, who has...
one of the best lines.
Yes, but also, like, I love that they brought her back, but also, like, this was, like, a stretch to bring her back. She's, like, in it for 2 seconds tops.
I just love her walking past, like, Duncan and Veronica in the bed. It's just like...
Oh, God. Shut the door next time.
That was very Blair Waldorf as
oh,
well.
Yeah.
Like...
I almost wonder if they... Because next season... She's not on Gossip Girl yet, but she did get a show that, like, ran for 12 episodes. So I was wondering if they were going to bring her back for more in season 2. They just couldn't get her in.
Right. That would have been cool. I like that it was her that told Veronica that it was her and Duncan.
But I also really like that she doesn't say it on screen. Like, they don't give it to the viewer. And you can't really tell right away that it's Duncan because you just see his back.
Right.
His very nice back. But So someone who works in customer service and has worked in, like, the food industry, when Veronica's like, I have some questions, and Carrie's like, well, kind of in the weeds. Veronica's like, so here's my question. And I'm like, Carrie is, first of all, on the clock. She's working. She just told you she's busy. You clearly don't want anything. So you're loitering in this place of business. And Carrie has customers who are paying, who have to now wait because you...
And let's talk about the last interaction between her and Carrie. Like, it wasn't...
Yeah.
You weren't in the nicest light to Carrie,
And it's also
Veronica.
like, you guys go to school together. You couldn't have waited till, like, school hours to talk to Carrie? Like... I'm just saying, there's sometimes where Veronica's like clearly has never worked in like a job because she is such a bitch to people who work in like retail settings.
Which is funny because next season
I know
she starts to work and she has that.
Well, I was wondering if they were going to set that up that her and Carrie work together because it looks like
that
Carrie is
the
working.
spinoff we need. That is the spinoff
right.
we deserve.
Because it looks like Carrie's working in is it Java the Hutt? I think it's called.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like where Carrie's working. But anyway, it was nice to see Carrie again. This is her last appearance ever.
I
She's
never
not even
thought
in
of
the movie,
that.
So
like that would have been so good to have her and Carrie working together in season 2. Oh my god. And it would give Veronica a female friend to have.
Yeah. But
Damn
honestly,
it, Gossip Girl.
No.
Damn it, other show.
Leighton Meester went on to do better things. Like Gossip Girl, she needed to be on Gossip Girl. No. Let's be real. The first couple, like...
Okay.
Leighton Meester is Blair Waldorf. There was no other Blair Waldorf. They wouldn't have been able to do the show.
That's true. I wouldn't have gotten that immaculate first 2 seasons.
Yeah, so everything, as they say on Charmed, everything happens for a reason.
Oh my god.
So we get to Duncan again.
Such a perfect scene.
Oh my god.
Like,
Duncan, Teddy Dunn is every episode he's been in the last couple episodes, he's fucking killed it.
Dude, they give
Fucking
him something and he
killed it.
delivers. Like, this is what happens when you give your actor something like meaty and good to go off of. Like, the fucking drama of this scene is off the charts. Like, it's been building. Like, you don't know it yet, but like, it's been building this whole season for like this moment, this shouting at Veronica on his like driveway because you're my sister.
Well, no, before that, the whole like, I'm a murderer and now I'm a rapist. He's like, what are you talking about? Why are you acting like this? You were there too. And she's just like, what are you talking about? He's like, it was like a moment between us. And they had like the flashback and he's like, hey baby. And she's like, I missed you. And then, but yeah, Veronica's like, why did you leave me? Like, if it was so magical, why did you leave me? Yeah. And because you're my sister was fucking like, and she knows it too. And like,
and then fucking Celeste down at the end of the driveway.
Yeah.
Like,
just like,
oh, so good. I got chills again. I got chills. Like,
it's so tense. And it's just as tense as, the scene in the classroom when he's like, do you think I'm gonna murder you too? It's so, because he has all this anger and like confusion because in his mind he slept with his sister.
Yeah,
like, that fucks a guy up. But also like he's been pretty chummy with her all season, so clearly he can't be that wrapped up about, like, it can't be that bad because they kind of become friends as the season goes on.
Well, I think it was more like, let's just not think that this thing happened, and the more we joke with each other, the more we can forget this, and we can try to get to some normalcy.
But also,
because the reason they broke up was because he thought they were sisters, so like...
I really enjoyed that they have sex, and Duncan's the only one who's like naked, but Veronica's still fully dressed, which I guess she's wearing a dress, it's easy. But like, it was just very, because he's in his boxers though, so it's very TV. It's like,
well, she's in a dress, you can't really do much else. You bring it down a bit, her boobs are out. You bring it up a bit, her vagina's out. It's just funny that
he chose to get fully undressed except for keep his boxers on so they can have sex.
He has that little hole, it's fine. He's just...
I guess. I don't know. I've never experienced... I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Are we supposed to leave our boxers on? Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong.
Oh my god. It's... That scene, though, it's so good, and the cut from that to Veronica going over to Wallace's, because he's, like, the one person she can trust. Like, she just needs someone right now to, like, not even talk to. She just needs someone to be around. Like, granted, she does talk to him.
in the car crying.
Yeah. And I like that he was, like, watching her, like, and just waiting for something.
Yeah.
That's some BFF status. That's...
Well, it's nice that we don't. I like that Veronica doesn't tell. Like, we don't see.
Yes.
Veronica tell
Oh my god,
Lois
I was so
everything.
happy.
Because, like, I've said this before. I'm like, I wish we had this scene where these two characters talk. But in this instance, I don't think we did not need it because we just had it all. We don't need like a quick recap of everything. Like, but it's so sweet. And then she's
it was
like,
smart to put that at the end of this episode because then you didn't have to give that scene.
I love when Veronica says you don't have to say something. That's kind of the point. Because that's like my best friend. That's how we talk. Like me and Christina, that's how we talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't need to say anything. It's just like, okay, I just have this person here.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah. That's like the sign of like a like best friend to where you don't have to, like, you don't have to try to make like
friends.
You don't have to make some weird small talk. Like, you can just be around each other and it's fine. It's good. You're not like pressured into being on for this person. Like, you can just exist and it's fine because you get it. And then she shows him her weird PI operating system that she
I still don't understand what this is that she opens up every time. Like, I don't
just look through my 5 folders.
I don't get what program this is supposed to be.
That's like does he click on a folder and then like a video pops up and like just gives like
yeah, I guess.
Or is he like just click like I don't know. She has to have like a lot of shit on there, I feel. So
it almost looks
like
it almost looks like a private website that she made. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that on a I don't know. It's weird. Unless it's like a separate user account on her computer. I don't know, but do Macs do that? I don't know.
You have one. Look at it.
But I only have one user because I am a single person. I don't know. It's weird. It's just that her stupid Lily Kane file. It always looks stupid, and they never made it look good or convincible.
Convincible.
I would rather her just like print everything out and just have like a file or something, like a
with
binder.
Like murder mystery printed out in big letters over the front,
or just like what they did on Smallville, like the Wall of Weird. Just have like a fucking Lily Kane murder wall. Okay, Keith clearly doesn't care what the fuck she's doing, so.
All right,
let's segue into that when she walks home and Alicia is fucking ripping Keith a new one.
Oh.
I love she's 17 and Keith's like, well, she's not your average 17-year-old. And Alicia's like, yeah, no shit, she's not your average 17-year-old. Like, because you let her do this shit without any consequences. And then Veronica comes in and is like, let me just explain. And Keith's like, go to your room. She's like, no. He's just like, go to your fucking room, Veronica.
I love that he got pissed off at her. Like, he's like, no, we're fucking adults right now.
Yeah.
And we are talking. Like, you're not gonna come in here and try to, like, schmarm your way over to Alicia. First of all, she's not gonna fucking buy it.
No.
Second of all, just go to your room.
And then Veronica has to have the last word. She's like, well, he bugged me first. And
Which I love that line, though.
Alicia's just like, put a fucking, like, muzzle on her, please.
Meanwhile, she doesn't know where her fucking 8-year-old is right now. So I don't want to hear this hypocrisy, Alicia. Where's your toddler? Where's your elementary school child at? Like, come on. No, but it was good to have Keith, like, be the parent in this situation. And then I liked her after she, on the start of Veronica's apology tour, she goes and apologizes to Alicia and tells her.
But I like when she's making the sandwich and Veronica's like, does Wallace still have you cut
yes!
crust off?
And I like that she's like, hey, like, listen, like, you make my dad happy. Like, I see that now. Like, I want you two to be together. Like,
I'm a piece of shit.
Right.
Let's forget about I almost got you fired. I am a child. I know I act like I'm not, but I am a dumb child.
Like, it was really good for Veronica to own up to it and, like, apologize to Alicia and be like, don't blame my dad. Like, I am a 42-year-old woman, so I make my own decisions, Alicia. So don't blame him. He loves you.
Yeah.
And then they're cut into, like, well, I don't think I made him very happy. And then, like, he's driving the Vegas Strip and, like,
I forgot
calls
about
the
this
escort.
whole scene. I always forget
So
about
did I.
this.
Me too. Well, okay, so little nitpick, and maybe it was different in 2005.
Okay.
But I am pretty sure the pictures in those escort ads are not the actual person you were talking to or getting. Like, maybe it was in 2005. Maybe it wasn't as big as it is now. Who knows? I'm pretty sure it was probably bigger.
Maybe Cheyenne is just, very well known.
She's a celebrity. But I liked that. That's my only like nitpick. But otherwise, I do like how they did that scene, like with him finding her and then calling her, and we're supposed to have this doubt, even though we all knew he wasn't about to like hire a sex worker for.
Oh, I know.
Like, that's not cute. But it was fun the way they did that, the way that was done.
And then we kind of set up a big piece into the whole. It can't be Abel Coots because like he was with a hooker at the time.
Oh yeah, which was odd.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I don't know. I felt like they wanted to sex up the Abel Koontz thing, and
But it's a good alibi because at this moment in time, they had no real shred of evidence that he didn't do it. So
well, the
now that
payoff.
Yeah, but also
I don't think they could use it or something.
As someone who's really into The Good Wife right now, you need like a fucking smoking gun, okay?
Okay, fair.
Cheyenne is the smoking gun.
Oh yeah. Are we gonna, I guess, go to the party? The current
Logan
day party? Logan's
Yeah.
3-month late birthday party, or 9-month early? Okay, so let's talk about Aaron real quick, though, before we get into that.
I was gonna say, I love the crab cake scene.
Oh,
Logan's
yes.
like, yeah, and then my throat will seize up, and I'll like descend this mortal coil.
My favorite
go.
part of that, though,
Yeah.
is he's like, perhaps my last words will be,
Great crab, Papa.
just the way he says Papa.
And then I love because Aaron's like, oh, I'm mixing up you and Trina, and he's like, no, Trina's allergic to work.
I'm allergic to shellfish. Yeah, it's again another Trina reference. Like, we're not forgetting that she exists in this time.
Yeah.
I see. That's what I would have expected for like Cole. Like, oh, Cole, I'll be right there. Like,
Yeah.
I like that this episode reminded us, like, yeah, sure, Aaron has done like 2 nice things these last couple episodes, but he is a monster. He abuses the fuck out of his son and is just like a liar. Like, he doesn't know.
He's just not a good father.
Yeah.
Really, at the end of the day,
He's
he
a
should not
really
have been a
bad father.
Yeah, no.
He did not break the cycle, as we learned. But yeah, I like that they included that back into here. Like,
Yeah.
you're about to find something big. Let's try to remind you that Aaron's an asshole.
Yeah. So yeah, the party. I love everyone's look.
Oh my god.
And fucking Duncan, who is not very happy.
So did Aaron just like invite every 09er?
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Because
I'm
some of
like,
those kids didn't look like 09ers.
Did Aaron just
Some of them look
hey,
poor.
Duncan, I want to throw Logan a party. Can you just invite people that he may or may not know?
Oh, true. Yeah, he probably, or Dick.
Or Dick. Because I'm also like, you have all these actors you brought back. I always wish like Sean and like
Yeah.
Casey and like Carrie were all in that room. Like, that would have been a cool, like, Veronica just dealt with all of this, and now she walks into this room, and all these people
That would have
here.
been so.
But I could understand the
fucking good.
logistics of getting,
Yeah.
like, that many, like, paid actors in for that moment.
Yeah. And, like, I don't think Carrie would have been there anyway.
That's not the point.
So, I really like when, like, they all find out, like, Veronica and Logan are together, and
Dude, what the hell are you doing? Please tell me this is like some new reality show called My Skank.
Goodbye, Dink.
What?
Get out of my house. You have a problem with Veronica, you leave. Actually, you have a problem with Veronica, you're pretty much dead to me. So just, like, evaporate or something, I don't know. That's kind of a general invitation. If you don't like my girlfriend, then just start heading toward the rectangle with the nod.
First off, Veronica's reaction to being called girlfriend. And second, Duncan's reaction to Veronica being called Logan's.
And then
So-
third, Meg's reaction to Duncan's reaction.
It's a really good chain of events in
Yeah.
terms of the reaction to this one word.
Yeah, there's a lot of
of
people
heft behind
are
it.
triggered by this.
Well, okay, good choice of words, because then I'm guessing this is what tips Duncan to going into one of his fits. I mean, like,
this
not
is so
being able to
painful to
open the
watch.
door,
Yeah.
but, like, it was girlfriend that really set him there. The door just, like, tapped him over the edge. Like, hey,
Well, also,
you want to
like,
black out now.
maybe also the fact that, like, he's so angry that his sister has a boyfriend and he cannot be with her. Yeah.
If I can't be with my sister, no one can.
Yeah, poor Duncan.
Very much
And
that
then
energy.
Meg's just like, what the fuck, man?
Poor Meg. Poor
Why can't I just catch a break with a normal guy?
is beating the shit out of that car. Like, dude, like, if he because what does he grab after? Is it an umbrella?
I think so.
But like before, he's just like pounding with his fists. Like, it was scary. Like, he did a good job with that. Like, but also Meg, the fuck, you're seeing this dude like go into a violent rampage, and you're just like, oh no, Duncan, what are you doing? Duncan, no, Duncan, like, and then like not antagonizing him, but like, I don't know. I would if I saw someone
like,
doing that.
You're in
I
love
would
with
not,
Veronica, aren't you? It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
that.
this is not about you at the moment, okay?
Like, I personally would not choose words like that when someone's having beating the shit out of an SUV with no care for
Let's
anything. Like, I'm turning the
de-escalate
other
the
way.
situation first.
Right. Read the room, Meg. Read the room. And then
And then Shelley Palmer is just outside. She's like, I get it, Duncan. I get it.
sorry. I hate us. I hate us so much.
So then we get, we'll go, Veronica and Logan are in the guest room or whatever it is.
Oh, I wanted to talk about when Madison finds out that Veronica's dating Logan, and she's like, "Oh, hi!" Like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Veronica."
Yeah.
And then I liked how she delivered the.
You want one? They said it was sugar-free, but I don't know.
Like, I don't know if this is sugar-free, but you could try it. They said it was. Like, I just love the delivery of that line. It's, again, Amanda Nora can take the smallest line and make it fucking hilarious. So let's go on to Logan and Veronica almost banging.
Well, I just want to say one last thing. Meg's last nice act to Veronica is to tell her not to drink the trip to the dentist.
Yeah.
And it's Meg's like trying really hard to be nice, but she's also kind of like pissed at this moment because she's like,
Yeah, kudos to her.
I don't know what's going on right now. Duncan's clearly still in love with you, but also I'm a good enough person where I don't want you to drink like Madison's spit. So
Yeah. Oh, beautiful angel. Willing to set aside anything to protect another friend.
and this is pretty much like the last time. This is the last episode where I liked Meg, because season 2 Meg, they destroy her. They absolutely destroy Meg's character.
I liked her in Normal as the Watchword.
We'll discuss it.
She has some fun lines. Okay.
But she's just as like
I
that's
get
when they
it.
start destroying her character.
Yeah, where they just make her angry.
So we get into the guest room, because it's not the pool house, because that's, I guess it's the guest room. I don't know what these rich people have. They seem to have a lot of random standing pieces of homing on this property. So yeah, and we learned that Logan taught Lily how to open the vents.
Yes!
I don't quite understand why there's a lock on the alcohol cabinet, because like when they were having that poker game, they were all drinking a lot of booze. So
well, he had the key. The key just broke. Very conveniently.
I still don't get why there's a lock on. I feel like the Eccles are not like a lock kind of family.
Aaron's
also,
not gonna want to look for a key.
Why is your liquor cabinet not in your house? Why is it in like the guest?
Well, if it's like a pool house, that
but
makes sense.
Can't be the pool house because there's a bed in there.
Yeah, okay. It's a pool house, not a pool living room.
I don't know.
It's like a literal house outside the pool.
That's stupid.
That you can like live in because you're rich and you have like a whole nother house.
Oh, is that what Rory lived in when she was at Emily and Richards?
Yep. The pool house.
I don't know. Anyway, it just didn't seem like it was the same like structure as the one they were in an Eccles family Christmas, but okay.
Yeah. I guess.
So we learned that there is a camera in the fan.
So I love that, like, after Logan tells her everything, like, oh, I did the body shots off of you. I'm the one that, like, orchestrated this. And then I drugged Duncan so that he'd have fun because, you know, he was trying to help you and was a buzzkill about it. So I had to drug my best friend so that maybe he would loosen up, in which turn has sex with Veronica that Veronica doesn't remember, so thinks she was raped. So good job, Logan. And then he has the whole fucking line of, I want you to trust me. And she's like, I do. Girl, no, you don't. No, you do not.
I hate this.
You do not trust anybody. Like,
No.
that's your whole shtick, my friend. Like,
There's just no consequences to Logan's actions for the whole Shelley Pomeroy thing.
no.
Or Dick's. Like,
Who, like, honestly, if they were to choose, like, one, it should have been Dick. Like, Duncan, or Logan did bad with Duncan, but he wasn't trying to rape Duncan afterwards. He was
we don't know what's going on. We don't know
He
what's
shouldn't
going on.
have drugged him. However, Dick's was far...
Because Dick was planning on
far
having
more
sex with the
sinister.
very drugged out Madison. We all
Yes.
know this.
Yes. Like, I can understand the Logan stuff, and, like, I think there's a way to come back from that. I just don't feel there's a way to come back from the Dick stuff. Honestly, they didn't work on his character the same way they did Logan's. So
No.
that's how I feel. But the next episode, I'm going to be laughing along with Ryan Hansen. So here the fuck we are.
So yeah, Veronica leaves because she finds the camera.
So how close? Either Logan was gone for like 15 to 20 minutes, getting this liquor, or Weevil was right down the street. Like, what?
When Veronica calls, Weevil answers.
Oh, I love that. Again, like, he will drop everything to come help her. And I really, really wish we could have explored a Weevil-Veronica romance.
No.
I do.
No.
Like, later on in life.
No.
Like, not... Like, season 3, I think, would have been a good place to try that.
I disagree.
I mean, I get it.
I'm
I'm not, like, championing for it.
disagree.
Because Weevil has far better prospects, like Logan. I ship him with other people first.
Fair.
I love that. I love just they had him at the beginning of the episode protecting like Veronica from Logan, and then here he is again. Which also Veronica inadvertently sets up every clusterfuck that happens between Logan and the PG-13 gang at the end of season 1 and all of season 2.
It's because Veronica, there's no consequences for Veronica.
Because she's like, Weevil very much believes that Logan's responsible for all this because of Veronica, but she never is like, oh wait, sorry, I was wrong about that. Hey Weevil, like, calm down. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe don't try to murder him. So yeah, that kind of kickstarts that, and he drives Veronica home, where one of my least favorite lines
Leanne
ever.
fucking Mars.
Honey, I'm home. So am I, honey. So am I.
I
hate that.
My only note is here is Leanne fucking Mars.
Ugh.
And
About to fuck some shit up. She's about to fuck some shit up.
Yeah.
However, I am so glad we only get her for next episode.
This is true. I always, for some reason, think she's in like a big chunk of the end of season
Yeah, like
one.
the last 3 or something.
But she is only in one episode.
Yeah. I don't
know.
Like, the actress is great. Like, she does an amazing job with her, but like, Leanne is just, I don't like the character. Like, she's a shitty person. And we don't get enough fun like we do with Dick to make us kind of forget about it.
Yeah, this is true.
Also, female character.
Okay, so anything else for this episode?
I think I don't think I missed anything. I shouldn't have.
There was a lot to talk about, but also
it's a lot of like, this was good. This is good. Like, it's there's some like really good, like a couple deep dive things to do, but other than that, like, it's just a really fucking good episode.
I will say hands down, this is my favorite episode of the whole series. I can watch this episode over and over again. I love, because like I said before, and I will never get to say it again, high school dramas rarely bring characters back like this. And to have all these, not even like important characters, like Luke and Sean and like fucking Cole, were all like characters we could never see again and be okay with it. But to bring them back, to like have this storyline that was set up in the pilot that honestly could have really never ever had any real payoff, to be like a nice, because this is really the last time is Veronica versus the 09ers, because she's more part of that world next season.
Yep. Well, and that's kind of part of her storyline too, and it's really good because they keep teasing it throughout season 1 and then really fucking dive into it in season 2, and it's so good.
Yeah, so
I
just love it. I love it. I love this fucking episode so much. Like, Diane, like, I praise you. If I'm ever gonna have sex with a woman, it'd be you for making this episode. Thank you. Thank you.
She is very attractive. You would do it. Everyone would benefit.
Okay.
I love the resolution where there isn't a resolution,
because it's one of those. It's great that they show in the flashback when or not the flashback, the previous one, when Lamb's like, "Who do you want me to round up? Want me to round up all the firstborn sons or whatever?" And it's true. Like, everyone had a part to play in this, and there's really everyone's to blame, but no one's to blame. Because
but Dick is definitely to blame.
But also because Duncan and Veronica were both drugged. So,
like, there's not consent from either side. So,
yeah,
but
exactly.
then there was, but then there wasn't. Like, you can't consent when you're like whacked out of your mind. But they were both that way.
Yeah, it's a very gray finish, a very gray ending to this like storyline that you think is going to be very black and white. Because Veronica saw it as very black and white. She's like, someone raped me, someone wronged me.
By the end of this hour, like, I am going to have someone pay for it.
It's almost like this countdown clock starting. Like, hey, we got 42 minutes. By the end of this episode, someone's getting their fucking balls chopped off. And no one does. It's all these dumb kids who, at the end of the day, are just looking out for themselves. And Veronica got hurt in the end, and
it's ahead of its time. Like, I don't even want to say that. Like, you don't get this kind of resolution to this kind of storyline.
Yeah,
at least done this well. Like, people can have tried it, but like this was done so fucking well. Like, and it's funny, like you said before, like, an Eccles Family Christmas kind of sets the groundwork to how this episode plays, and how she got, and it's, oh my god, it's so good. I think that's all, though, I have in terms. I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned the resolution and how great it was. Like, it wasn't clean cut. We didn't come out of this like, oh well, that's the bad guy and Veronica saved the day. It's, well, Veronica just learned some more information and it's a lot more fucked up than she thought. So, segments?
Yeah, because I feel like we can just talk about this episode. Actually, I probably have more stuff to say, but it's probably best to like wrap it up here.
Yeah. Okay.
As kind of a side project, I dispense fashion advice.
So in this segment, we'd like to talk about the outfits of the episode, what we liked, what we didn't like, and kind of what was just there. What do you have?
So I saved it for the pilot, but I really like Veronica's white party dress. It's like this very virginal, innocent girl thing.
On the nose, but like,
yeah, it really is.
It's still good.
Yeah, it's like whenever they sacrifice a virgin in any kind of film movie, that's exactly what they're wearing.
I love it.
I also really liked, she had this, I don't know what, I guess it was like a blazer almost, like this puffy brownish blazer that looked really good on her. And it felt very investigator, like a very chic, felt like a high fashion investigator trench coat turned into a jacket. It's very weird. I don't know how to explain it, but I really liked it.
I got you.
And Casey's blue button-up shirt fit him really well.
Casey's always looking mighty fine.
Mighty fine. He knows how to wear a button-up. And then I just feel bad for Madison. She wore a lot of really awful outfits in this episode. And her wig, I don't know, it was not doing her any favors. I don't understand why they had to do that wig. Like, they could have found, like, I get she dyed her hair so she couldn't be a brunette in the flashbacks. But couldn't she have just been and then just dyed it? Like, I don't know. I don't, like, there was ways
Do you want him to, like, CGI it? Like, go into Photoshop and, like...
But also, like, the flashbacks are so heavily filtered. So, like, it wouldn't even be able to tell she was, like, you could have made it work, okay? Like...
Just make sure you have, like, a bright light shining onto it.
Yeah! There's such heavy effects on these stupid flashbacks. I remember trying to make wallpaper from this episode, which was impossible to do with these screen caps. But, yeah, those are my outfits to pick out. Everyone actually just looked pretty decent. Like, the fashion's getting much better.
It is.
I wish Carrie wasn't wearing that ill-fitted blue shirt when she was working.
Good color on her, though.
It was a nice color on her, but it's very ill-fitting.
Agreed. I didn't write down anything, so.
Okay, good. Thanks, Joe.
This is like it's the last segment. Like, I always forget to do it because I'm never like, I don't know. You're the one that wanted this segment, so.
These are the jokes.
So for this segment, we like to talk about our favorite quotes of the episode. We each pick one and just talk about it a little bit more in detail than we did in the episode. What do you got? Because I kind of
My favorite line is when Veronica is talking to Luke.
Remember when I saved you from drug dealers and I said I may call upon you for a favor someday?
You didn't say that.
It was implied.
Okay, what can I do you for?
Nice.
She's like, I was going 50-50 on that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, it's great. Like, I loved that aspect of it too, where she's like, no. I've either helped you or I got a lot of shit on you. Like, but you're going to help me.
I really appreciate that Luke, like, was very forthcoming. He wasn't trying to be like, play her. He was just like, yeah, I'll help you. Like, you helped me. I'll help you.
I had to sell my baseball. My life is so hard. I just like that, like, everything that she's worked towards these past 20 episodes with, like, having to deal with these people and all these mysteries have finally paid off, like, in a big way for her throughout this. And it's just smart.
That's why I wish Beaver was
smart.
Introduced earlier in the series.
Yeah. Because
it feels like he was introduced last episode to play a role in this episode.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I don't know what it's like. That's like the one nitpick I have is just Beaver feels very forced into this.
Like, have him pop up in episode 14 or something. 15.
Yeah, like
a couple episodes before. It's like nothing. But they probably didn't have him cast yet or anything, or
because clearly they're leading up to him to be an important character. So whatever.
And then you already have my favorite line.
You can keep asking, but you're not the fairest. Trust me.
I can tell you who the pastiest is.
What's the deal?
Can't buy bronzer with food stamps.
You wrote slut on my car last year at Shelley's party. Why?
Because whore had too many letters.
It's just anytime you can get Madison and Veronica to go like verbal sparring with each other, it's wonderful. I fucking love it. It just the whole thing.
Go Pirates!
It is MVP time, our most valuable pirate. In this segment, we like to pick who we thought did the best in the episode, whoever did the most work, whoever we liked the most, whatever we were just kind of feeling, who we want is our star of the episode. Who do you have?
I gave it to Madison Sinclair.
I figured. I don't disagree with you.
I knew from the very first day we did this podcast, Madison would be getting this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I usually have a hard time picking MVPs, but I knew from the get-go, I'm like, a trip to the dentist? Madison.
Oh, yeah. Especially with how it ended with her. Ugh.
Yeah.
I want to do that, but I'm going to give it to Veronica.
She deserves it.
She does. It was, no matter how she treated Madison or didn't tell Madison, that is my only gripe of her in this episode. And as much as I hate it, I get it. I get that animosity between the two and why Veronica would just be like, well, fuck you, bye. But it hurts. It sucks because Madison could have been a great character. Like, just given, I mean, not like she isn't, because obviously we love her. We have a whole segment dedicated to her when she's not in an episode, but there's just so much you could have taken with that if yeah. So I'm going to give it to Veronica for fucking solving this shit, for not giving a fuck what anyone thought while she was going through it and trying to solve this. She was going to do it by any means necessary, and she did.
I would like to also
a little soft on Logan, though. Not happy about that either.
I would like to point out, if I hadn't given it to Madison, Duncan deserves it too.
Oh, yeah.
He's like a real close second for me, but
he's getting it in Donut Run. Calm down.
Madison.
he's got Donut Run, okay?
Yeah.
We'll get there. So then last segment.
Pirate points are earned by being a contributing member of the school.
Pirate points. Just as Madison let you know, pirate points are earned by being a contributing member of the school. Instead of rating the episode, we feel that you know how we felt about it by the time we get to the end of the episode. So instead of giving it a numerical score or a letter grade, we like to say how many pirate points this episode has earned. So what are you doing for pirate points, Travis?
This was really hard. My original choice, Joe vetoed.
Yes.
But I'm going to give this enough pirate points to throw an end of the year rager at Shelley Pomeroy's house.
Nice.
It's not as funny or as witty as I was going for, but
sometimes you just got to give it good.
Go watch this episode. Just, even if you've seen it, watch it again. It's an amazing episode. Amazing episode.
It is. I'm going to give it enough pirate points to buy a lifetime supply of bronzer to keep you from being the pastiest of them all.
Nice.
Because I feel like that's a lot. Like, a lifetime supply of bronzer.
Especially for Veronica.
Yeah, you know. So anything else, my friend?
There's not much more I can say about how much I love this episode.
Okay. Well, with that, we are brought to the end of the episode. If you like what you heard today, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to us. And if that podcasting app has some sort of rating system, please go down to it and give a little to that ratings. If it has 5 stars, please give us 5 stars. I feel that that would be more fun than 1 star. If you want to join in on the discussion, talk about anything that we have mentioned in this episode, prior episode, something you want to hear us talk about on a future episode, email us, veronicamarspod@gmail.com, or you can find us on Twitter or Instagram. Our handle there is Veronica Mars Pod on both of those. You can either reply to us or reach into our DMs. Probably a bit easier there to keep everything organized. If you want to follow me on social media, I am on Twitter or Instagram, and that is Ojo, OHJEAUX. I do know how to spell it. Travis, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Travis Truant. That's Travis and then TRUANT for Truant.
Make sure you're following his Instagram. He's actually posting art recently, so it's really fun, and you can see his creativity outside of little marshmallows. He can draw more than marshmallows, guys. It's great. Yeah, I've seen a couple things. So with that, we will see you all next week for
the finale.
The finale. Episode 22 of season 1, Leave It to Beaver.
It's going to be a long one or a really short one.
I'm setting aside like a day for this. Like, I'm going to make sure I'm not doing anything else just in case.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
We'll see if it ends up being a 2-parter or not, because I'm not releasing a 2.5-hour episode in one chunk at you guys. Like, I'm sorry. That would be horrible. I already feel like these are way too long as it is, so... But with that, we'll see you guys next week, and I hope that you are having a better day than the way Madison is treated going forward, despite herself almost being drugged and raped. Have a good one.
Bye.
What was that? Whatever.
You tried to say Veronica Mars. We get it. Girl detectives are bitchier than regular detectives. Not into it.